Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers here today. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome to all of you joining us here today. We're talking about our upcoming Gold Midwifery Conference. You'll be able to go to the website right now, goldmidwifery.com, in order to locate all of our presenters and, of course, when the schedule is, and, of course, upcoming free presentations that we have for you this year, including our opening and closing keynote. So you can get on that right now, register for that conference. And of course, you'll also be able to listen to Dr. Nathan Riley. So welcome, Nathan. It's great to have you back here at Gold Midwifery.
It's great to see you again, Fiona. It's my pleasure.
Yes, it feels like it's been a hot minute, but yet so much has happened. I think
Yeah.
around the world and in our lives, and I know that you've been keeping really busy as well, as always, which is pretty exciting. But I would love it if you could sort of reintroduce yourself, tell people what you've been up to, what you're doing, and I know you've got some hot projects coming up as well. So why don't you share
Hot.
a little bit about that? Hot projects.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of hot projects. Well, for those who don't know who I am, I have like 9 listeners now on my podcast, which is huge. So if you're not one of those 9 people, my name's Nathan Riley. I'm an OBGYN by training, by primary training. And then I completed a fellowship in hospice and palliative medicine. And so, people say that I do birth and death, but I kind of do everything in between as well. I'm, uh, a lot of primary care sort of work. And through a podcast that I have, the OB-GYNO Wino podcast, I've I've accumulated so many friends within the midwifery and doula communities, birth keepers of all varieties, women and men, doing great work around the world. And that has really kind of broadened my horizons as to where I can best kind of serve, how I can best serve my patients. And that really is through, I'd say, more of a palliative care lens as to how I provide, OBGYN care. Um, but I'm also now venturing into this sort of what I call biodynamic medical space, where I'm going to be providing some lifestyle. Let's say, I'm not going to call it lifestyle medicine. We'll call it lifestyle recommendations on how to improve people's health, um, for those the multitude of conditions that Western medicine really has no answer to. So, in the women's health space, that includes pelvic pain, endometriosis, etc., as well as fertility issues and whatnot. And the unique part about this is I'm not going to be making money from this new offering. This is going to be a completely gifted service, because I've kind of grown a little bit tired and weary of the large business model that is Western, which is at least the U.S. healthcare model. And I just don't feel like I want to subscribe to that any longer. So I'm trying to work that out, and for the right fit, it would be very fulfilling to me to be able to provide some lasting change, with regards to people's symptoms and their sort of experience as humans, through the very important topics within the lifestyle realm. So that's really what I'm working on. Got a greenhouse, growing a bunch of herbs now. 2020 was a great year of growth for me and my family. So, and so I'm happy to be here and to be able to talk more to like-minded people.
That's awesome. Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
I don't think you mentioned where you're currently living right now, but perhaps you can just mention where you are in the world as well.
Oh, sure. So my wife and I live in Louisville, Kentucky, which is
Beautiful.
which is someplace that many people don't even know where that is, but it's just south of Ohio and Indiana.
And you have a little one there as well who keeps you very busy.
Yeah, 11-month-old Penelope Luce Riley is, the pride and joy, the little monster, and we've been quarantined with a baby for her entire life, so it hasn't been terrible, but she's starting to become impatient, I think, as well. Like, she's kissing her shadow, she's kissing these babies that are on the diaper box, like,
Yeah.
mwah, like giving them kisses. So we're realizing she needs some social interaction. So
Yeah.
we're now
Other than the
trying to
two of
find,
you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of friends here locally who have babies. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's it's something.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think, yeah, I mean, there's lots of families who have birthed in pandemic times and been isolated the entire time. So
Yeah,
a different generation, and potentially they'll never remember it. But we'll for sure will be sharing those stories forever because, of course, the
yeah,
pandemic has affected most of us in different ways, but
yeah.
definitely has impacted our lives. So we'll carry that torch for them. I was just going to mention, so your website for your new project is not quite up and ready yet, but it will be available soon. It'll be in your bio as well. Everyone will be able to see it, belovedholistics.com.
Mhm.
And everyone will have an opportunity to learn and grow alongside. I feel like you're a very good listener, and I know you love talking and sharing and all those types of things, but it comes to mind that in your journey of wanting to do these changes and provide this type of care and support folks getting away from Western medicine, you must have listened. You heard people ask for different things, or you saw a need. Is that what happened? Was it more personal than that? What happened, Nathan, on your journey?
Well, we have all these tools available to help one another get by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you choose to, when I chose to take this journey into medicine, I thought, I'm going to help people. It's what everybody says. I want to help people. Well, you could help
Sure.
people in so many different ways. Um, Yet, in the accumulation of these tools, if you're honest with yourself, you know that your tools can't fix everybody's problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people have problems that aren't meant to even be fixed by you as the healthcare provider. Like if my wife comes to me and had a hard day, she's not looking for me to fix her bad day. She's looking for
Right.
somebody to be there with her. And so I think if we're all honest with ourselves, um, we have tools we have a variety of tools that are available to help one another, and the Western medical toolbox is vast and deep, but it doesn't really do everything that we need, and sometimes just presence is healing and therapeutic in and of itself. And then I'll add on, I'm going to be pursuing some anthroposophical medical training, which is a completely different philosophy as to how the body and the mind and the spirit interrelate and operate. And I'm doing that because I am curious. I'm curious about other options to fix people's ailments. And there's some wisdom in trying in being open-minded, I think, to the fact that, hey, maybe my tools aren't helpful. Let's refer you out to an herbalist or whatever else. But the
Mm-hmm.
right physician or the right healer for you or for anybody, including us as healers, we also need healing. There's some wisdom in realizing, hey, we have some limitations here, and the right physician or the right healer for a particular person is that one that's probably curious and probably knows that there's a limitation to these tools. And so my journey has been, hey, I went down the really challenging path of Western medicine. There's no path like that to become a
Right.
physician in a Western accredited medical system. It is a brutal task. And now that I've done that, I'm trying to round this out by finding collaborators that have other skill sets who are equally curious and realize that there's a really nice way to weave these
Mm.
philosophies together. So within this biodynamic practice, for example, I'm taking Eastern and Chinese medicine, I'm taking some Vedic philosophy, and I'm combining this into a more comprehensive package, realizing that, hey, there's going to be other people out there that I need as people that I can refer to, right, for
Mm-hmm.
their other modalities. They have different tools. So
Right.
so that the path for me has been just realizing that, hey, as much work and time and financially how invested I've become in this, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have all the answers, and that's part of the reason that I work so well with midwives and doulas
Mm.
and women who have other healing modalities. Particularly women. I think women they make a natural sort of healer,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's been humbling to realize, like, man, I don't have the answer to this. Let's go and find some help. And so if there's anybody out there that wants to collaborate, that's why I do these things. I would love to find other people that are doing things that I can't do.
Beautiful. It's so interesting in listening to you and hearing you. When you said certain things, it triggered a response in me to just relax.
Mm,
And I think it's to do with knowing that I don't have to fix everything.
Right.
Because
Right.
naturally I want to be able to sense, heal, fix, reprogram, rewire. And all of a sudden I was and I know this already. I think a lot of us do who work in this field, but just hearing it again and
It's so
reflecting, I'm like,
reassuring.
oh yes, this is good. Take it one
Right.
moment at a time,
Right.
and listen, hear, heal, refer, collaborate. I mean, all those types of things really do provide that sense of relief, I think, in so many of us. We are not silos. We are not
Right.
alone in this, which is really good news. So thank you for that, Nathan. We can all
You're
take a deep
welcome.
breath now.
Yeah. Let's do it
That's
together.
that's right. We can do this
Yes.
together. All right. Well, speaking of doing it together, of course, we're all going to be working together at our Gold Midwifery Conference. You have an interesting topic, using tools, and but you've also said that it's going to be made easy. So this is the title: Antenatal Fetal Surveillance Made Easy. So what are you going to be sharing about this, Nathan, during your presentation at Gold Midwifery?
Well, this is probably one of the things I get asked the most about. Like, people hear the podcast, they email me about this specific case. I'm always open to answering any clinical questions anybody has because I
Mm-hmm.
learn as much as you do when you reach out and ask me for advice. So, one of the big questions is, what do I do now that this person who's diabetic or they're advanced maternal age or any of these
Mm-hmm.
other whimsical terms we use to describe that a person might be, quote, higher risk? What do
Right.
you do when they reach that third trimester? Is it irresponsible if I don't send them in for more testing? What things should
Mm-hmm.
I be looking out for? And so what we're going to do today in this, it's a brief period of time to talk about a big topic, but what I'd like
Sure.
is for people to understand what some of the antepartum fetal surveillance methods, what those look like in a practical sense, and when you might need to consider those for your patients. This could be for hospital-based, home-based, whatever. Anybody working in the birth world, this is what this means. And if it's not relevant here, maybe it's something that happened in a previous pregnancy
Mm.
and they're just asking you for your advice. Well, I'll try to dispel some of the myths about it, and I'll try to make it easier for you to understand when it might be helpful to send somebody, for example, into a clinic in order to have a weekly NST. What does that mean? What are the implications? How do we interpret it? So that if it does happen, if you have a patient who would benefit, they come back to you with the results, you can help them interpret it to the best of your ability. It's really not that hard. So we'll try to make it even easier than I think it should be.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Always like some easy things to take home with, for sure. That's
Mm.
wonderful. And dispelling myths, I love that too, because I think sometimes there can be a lot of hype, and we're dealing with a lot of different messaging when it comes to surrounding this area as well. So I'll look forward to hearing you live. You're going to be live at the Gold Midwifery Conference, which is going to be great. Folks will be able to come in, chat with you in the live chat pod, and also listen to the live Q&A. Of course, for all of our delegates who are listening to the recorded version of the conference, I know that you'll be available to them through our Gold forums as well, which will be fabulous. Thank you so much, Nathan. It's always great to sit down and chat with you.
My pleasure, Fiona. Thanks.
Look forward to seeing you at our Gold Midwifery Conference. You can head over to the conference site right now, goldmidwifery.com, to get all the details of the upcoming event and, of course, our keynotes as well. Look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye for now, everyone.